Hey Vsafrique fam, today we're going to be making lovely bucket hat like this ones. It's a very simple DIY, just pay attention and you'll be able to get it from the very first moment. And yes, you can pair it with the tote bag and earring. The tutorial for those two are already on the channel. You can also watch them. To get your bucket hat done, we need three parts. The base that I also call the crown, the middle panel, and then the flap, right? Crown, middle panel, flap. These are the three parts of this bucket hat that you need. Now the next thing that you need to do, you fold your fabric into two. We're cutting the flap first. You fold your fabric into two and then you go ahead and measure. You go from that end point, you're going to be measuring 7.25, right? 7.25. You're going to measure that till the end. Then use your chalk or your pen or whatever it is you use to connect the dots together to have a connecting line. Now, when you are done doing that, the next thing that you want to go ahead and do, from that point where you first made that line, you are going to measure three for our flap. We're using three. You can make it two, you can make it 2.5, you can even make it bigger, make it anyhow you want it, right? But you're going to now go ahead and draw and measure three, right? I'm using three for my own, so I'll measure three. From that point where you completed your line, you're going to go down and measure 0.5. The 0.5 is for your sewing allowance. You will do that for the up part, for the down part, and also do that for the up part. Then you go ahead and cut this out. When we're done with that, the next thing we want to do, we want to cut the middle panel, right? We want to cut the center part. So we're going to take our fabric again and still do this on fold. Now you're going to measure from where you have, you're going to measure what's it called, 11.5. Your head circumference is about 23, or you measure 11.5, or you can measure 12, right? Then on all the sides, you're going to use 0.5. Up, you use 0.5. Down, you use 0.5. Sideways, you use 0.5, right? You're doing 0.5 all round so that you have that for your sewing allowance. Please be reminded that you're doing this on fold. So this part where you have the fold, you are not measuring 0.5 there or cutting it, right? You're not cutting that part. You're just going to be cutting the fabric to separate it from the bulk, the bigger fabric. Don't cut the part where you have the zero, your fold. Don't cut it into two because you need a long strap, not a joint part together. So now we're done cutting that part. The next part that we need to do, the next part we need to cut for is the base or the crown, right? The top part. You're going to take your fabric again and still do this on fold. Then the part where you folded that into two again. So you have a cone-like shape, right? You have a cone-like shape. When you cut it out, it will be a cone-like shape. But you have four folds. You have four folds rather. So when you've done that, you want to go ahead and measure from the midpoint. You're going to be measuring 4 inches, right? 4 inches from the midpoint. Then with your measuring with your scissors, you will cut it out. You also go ahead and leave 0.5 for your sewing allowance. When that is done, you can go ahead and cut it out. Okay, when we're done with this, the next part that we're going to do is that we're going to got the same thing for our Ankara fabric. Remember, we're doing both denim and Ankara. It's a reversible bucket hat. All right, so you can do what I'm doing. Place the fabric on top, use pins to hold it down, and then cut. Or you can as well just go ahead and do the same measurements, like the same measuring thing they have done for the denim. You do it for this one. If you don't want to use Ankara, you can use two different denims. You can use denim and lining or Ankara and lining, anyhow you want or anyhow you prefer. You're allowed to do that. Okay, now that we're done with that, the next part is to iron our gum stay, right? Ironing the gum stay only on the Ankara because it's lighter than the denim, right? But if you also want to iron your gum stay on the denim, it's fine. But my denim that I used, it has some weight, so I only iron gum stay on the Ankara part. Okay, now that we're done, the next part is to sew our pocket cap, right? This is the next part for this tutorial. So I'm going to begin with, some people begin with the crown, that's the top part, and the middle panel, but I prefer to always start with the flap at the middle panel. Right? Remember I said I'm using 3 inches for the flap. So I'm trying to just mark out the 0.5 I left on both sides. I'm trying to mark that out so that I can have a neat sewing when I'm sewing. I'll do this for the flap and also do the same thing for the middle panel. Then I'm going to go ahead and just sew. After sewing them together, the next part is that I'm going to top stitch, right? I'm going to top stitch the both of them together so that it looks really neat. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go ahead and add the crown, sew the crown to the middle panel. When I get to the end, I'm just going to take them and join the openings together, right? So just take them up and join the openings together. I am done, literally. The next part is to do the same thing for the denim, right? I'll do the same thing for the denim and then we can do our finishing touches. Okay, now that I'm done, I'm just using my pins to hold the both of them together. I'm joining the denim to this Ankara that has gum stay. So you're going to be joining them with the right side facing each other. So the right side will be inside, and then the wrong side is going to be outside like this, right? For the both of them, both the Ankara and the denim. So you're going to use the pins to hold them in place. Then you can begin sewing. Now, while sewing, also going to ensure that you don't close off everything. You sew and leave about, let's say, 1.5 inch for turning, right? 1.5 inch or 2 for turning. So I'm going to use my scissors and just give this a nudge, right? I'll give this a nudge so that it's going to be easy for me to really turn it when I am done sewing. And it's not going to be bulging, it's going to be flat, right? When I'm done sewing. When we're done sewing, we're just going to turn it out like this, right? When you're done turning it out, the next part is they're going to be closing off the opening. You close the opening, and I always ensure to top stitch the end. If you want to add extra lines, like have add extra lines on the cap to do the pattern, you can still go ahead and still sew around. But all I just do is when I'm done turning over, I top stitch the part that is open, right? So you see all that in the video. I'll top stitch that, then go ahead and top stitch the entire flap, right? The base of the entire flap or the tip of the entire flap. This way it stays down and it's looking really neat. After that, I'll just go ahead, use my hand to arrange it the way I want, bringing out all the extras, ensuring that everything fits very well. This is it. It's this simple. It's this simple. Tell me in the comment section, if you were to do one for yourself, how will you pair yours? Will you do yours with a matching earring, or you do that yours with waist bag, or you would like to carry that your own with a tote bag. If you'd like to learn any more tutorials, I have videos already on my channel that you can watch. The one about how to make different earrings, there are videos here already. The one about how to make tote bags is already here on the channel. And yes, as the month continues, as the year continues, you'll be getting more information on how to make lovely fashion accessories. You can even tell me in the comment section the one you want me to record next. For this week, we're going to be having hand fan, right? Bridal hand fan. How to easily get a bridal hand fan done. If you've watched to this point, trust me, you are my real MVP. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, share, and comment button as well. Don't forget, you can leave me a comment, ask me anything, tell me what other tutorial you want me to put out here, and you can send me a private message. You can check my link on my bio, right? Any of the links, my WhatsApp is there, Instagram is there. You can reach out to me on any platform. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye for now.